Hey, good afternoon. I'm John Rhoads, and this is Rhoads Life Coaching. I'm here in Austin, Texas today, and back behind me, you can see the Congress Avenue Bridge. It's famous for being the Bat Bridge here in Austin. It, in the summertime, houses over 1 million bats each night that crawl up inside the rafters of the bridge to keep warm and to be safe while they're sleeping during the daytime. And I'm it's a cool spot to think about a topic that came up for me in a recent coaching session where we were talking about old data sets. Our our preconceived notion, bats started being conserved, protected in Austin in the early 1900s, 1910, 1915, 1920, as their recognition of being able to reduce the mosquito population to protect against malaria. That changed in the 1950s with a newfound fear of bats that took the protection away and reduced the bat population. And now here we are in the early 21st century, and the bats have been protected again for a long time, and the bridge is designed and built, and the bats have found a safe place to nest that now becomes an attraction for people to come and watch them fly out from underneath the bridge each night. Different data sets about the same scenario of whether bats are good or whether bats are bad, and the role that they serve in our interaction with them as humans. And it brought up an interesting connection in how we look at the data sets that we review. In this coaching session, I was talking with someone about letting go of the past and being able to trust someone in a new scenario. And the light that went on was that the new data wasn't able to move the needle of being able to see a change when it was added to the old data set. And being kind of a data-driven person, someone that likes to look at the numbers of how things move, the idea popped into my head of any new small piece of data wasn't going to change the attitudes of that old data set. One new data point wasn't going to change the mean and the standard error to be able to see change in that relationship. And so the ask was to let go of the old data set. In order to really see true change and new variability and new errors and being able to predict behavior, you had to let go of the old, larger data set in order to see new behavior. And it was an interesting concept because thinking of that had a big impact on whether that person was willing to change their behavior and trust in this relationship to see if it was allowed to change going forward. And that's kind of my ask for you today. Where is it that you have an old data set, belief about whether bats are good or bad? And where are you applying that to new data that skews how you interpret the new data because of an old average mean or standard error? Where is it possible to let go of that old data so you can start calculating a new data set, a new average, a new normal? And what's preventing you from letting that go? What would you need in order to take a risk to be able to say, I'll let the old data go and change my behavior, change what I believe about bats in order to look at new behavior? Think about that for a little bit. I'd be happy to continue that conversation, but where is it that old data set is blocking the path of something new? I'm John Rhoads. This is Rhoads Life Coaching. I hope that you're able to find purpose and meaning in daily life.